everybody, welcome to the quarantine workout. Today I'm going to show you a workout using mostly resistance with resistant bands. I will be doing a little bit of body weight workout as well as a little bit of free weights in there. And the reason for that is there's certain areas on the body that I feel you get a better workout using either your body weight or free weight than you can with a resistant band. So we'll be kind of doing a bit of a mix-up with some of those. So one thing about this workout is I've done a whole full body workout, so you're going to work everything, but you can mix and match. You can take your own things and throw it in here. But the one thing you want to remember whenever you're creating a workout is the idea is to work out your muscle to the point of fatigue, but not overwork that. Now, normally when I'm working with a client, I would do a really in-depth kind of bio with them to find out where they're at and where they're struggling. And since I can't do that with you, I'm going to have you do that on your own. So when you first go through this workout, for each rep, I want you to count each rep. And I want you to keep going until your muscle is fatigued. And what that looks like is you're going to do the movement until you feel like you struggle to bring it up. When you start to struggle, that is where you know where your muscle fatigues. At that point, you want to stop, okay? And you write down that number. So whether the rep is 10 or 25, wherever you get to that point where you feel like it's a struggle to bring it to that last stop, write down that number, okay? What we want to do is we want to work each individual area to fatigue without overworking it. So what that means is, so each muscle needs about a minute of rest before it's ready to be worked out again. So you don't want to do all of your arm workouts together or all of your leg workouts together. Even though that might seem to be a little bit more efficient, you need to mix it up. You need to do upper body, lower body, core. Upper body, lower body, core. And you need to always mix it up. That way you make sure that that muscle gets that full minute of rest before you work it out again. If you work it out too soon, you're not going to get as much work out of that muscle, but you will if you wait that full minute. Okay, so the bands that I'm working with today are going to be an open resistant band, and we're going to use the mini band as well as some free weights. I have 5 pound because that's unfortunately all I have now, but whatever you have at home will work just fine. So for the first one, we can go ahead and take a seat. You can do this standing or sitting, whatever is more comfortable for you. I'm going to go ahead in a standing move, a standing position, and we're going to start with a lat pull. So what I want you to do is focus on the muscles that you are working, and I'll walk you through each one. So this first area that we're working is actually going to be out here in our back, okay? This big back area. It's a very big muscle. That's the area we're going to focus on. So I want you to think about these muscles as you're doing the workout. There's a real connection between the mind and the muscle. And if you just go through the motions of working out, you're not going to get as strong of a workout as if you are really thinking about that area, that particular muscle that you're trying to work. That'll keep you from accidentally focusing on another area that you actually aren't supposed to be working. Okay, so focus on that back muscle. And you're going to bring your arms up and back behind your head. See what I'm doing there? Okay, so up and back. Now I want you to look at the movement of my arms. My elbows stop at the same level as my shoulder. Okay? That is called your range of motion. It is really important when you are strength training that you keep to the proper range of motion. Going outside of that range of motion will either make it so you're not creating any resistance or working that muscle out at all, and it can even injure the muscle. So you want to make sure to stay within that range of motion. Okay? So up, out to the side, up, out to the side. Okay? Just like that. You see people in gyms all the time and they're looking at the mirror when they work out, and a lot of people think they're just being vain. But really what they're doing is they're making sure that they have the proper range of motion. I've been teaching fitness for 20 years, and I still have to look at a mirror every time I work out. Because if I don't, then I get sloppy and I start going outside my range of motion. I can't show you because my camera is currently taped to it, but I am working out in front of a mirror. I always have to have some kind of a reflection to make sure that I am keeping with that proper range of motion. So again, you're going to do this until you feel like it's a struggle to bring it back up, and then you'll know that is when that muscle is fatigued. Write down that muscle. Write down that number. All right. So our next one is going to be our abductor butterflies and lifts. So a lot of people think when they're doing this movement, that they're working their inner thighs. You're actually working your outer thighs, your abductors. So that's where you want to focus when we do this workout. Let's scoot back here so we can say, all right. So you're going to bring your band up to about here on your legs, and there's two different ways that you can do this. So there's the butterfly, where you bring your legs out like this. You want to keep your feet as stationary as you can, and just let your legs splay out as if they were butterfly wings, okay? And this is where you should be feeling it. You'll feel a little bit here in the adductors, but you really want to focus here in your hips, right here on the sides. Those are your abductors, okay? You're going to push your knees towards the ground. The other way you can do this is you can lay down on your side, okay? And you're going to lift up and bring it down. This is one that a lot of people have seen. So whichever one you're more comfortable with, I find I can get a little bit of a better, well-rounded workout with this one than I can with the butterflies. It depends on whichever one is more comfortable for you. If you feel like your resistant band isn't enough, you can always add a second one. Adds a little bit more resistant. So you're going to go until you feel like that muscle is fatigued. You will turn around and do the other leg. So some people bend their leg back. I find it more comfortable usually to bend my leg back. One thing to also keep in mind is don't come all the way down. So again, we're losing that range of motion. We're losing that resistance. So always keep that range of motion straight here with the hips, and then up. Straight, up. Just like so. Don't go down. Always keep that leg up. Like so. Mini band bicycles. So we worked our upper body, we worked our legs. Now we're going to work our abdominals. When you do this one, it'll feel a little bit like you're working your legs too. That's fine. What we're doing is we're using our legs to create a resistance to work out our core. So you want to focus on that core. The best way to work that out, it's really important. Anytime you do a core workout, is to hold in those abdominal muscles. And I don't mean suck in, I mean hold it in. So you just kind of tighten them as if you're getting ready for someone to punch you right in the stomach. You want to tighten those ab muscles. You should start already feeling a burn before you even do any movements if you're tightening it correctly. It should also start getting hard to breathe sometimes. All right, so we're going to do a bicycle movement like this. I'm going to switch because I find that this band doesn't really create a lot of resistance for me. So I'm going to go on to this one. There we go. Okay, and you're gonna go back and forth. And we're focusing on that abdominal area here, right in the middle of our core. If you need to brace yourself, just bring your hands back here. Keep your body in this position, a little bit leaning out. You don't want to go too far forward, you don't want to go too far back. Just kind of a nice little, I guess I'd say that's almost an L shape. I guess it's, yeah. So I did this workout twice yesterday as I was putting it together. And I really feel it in my legs today. So just so you know, my legs are killing me. All right, the next area that we're gonna work is we're gonna focus on our back, specifically our lower back, our glutes, and that area where your legs meet your glutes, right in here, okay? They're called swimmers. All right, so you're gonna lay on your belly, and you're gonna put your hands out like you're Superman and bring your legs, see if I can get some space here, and you're gonna kick, just like you're swimming in the water. You're a little scuba man. Just like this, okay? And I'm focusing on this area right in here, okay? As we bring up those heavy leg muscles, these hamstrings here are gonna really kind of tuck in that glute, pull it up. It's also gonna work out here on that lower back, especially as you move that arm. That'll help engage that lower back. And they don't need to be wild movements, just nice little movements. You can also add in some little froggy kicks, like that. It's another one that's gonna help that kind of, where the hamstrings meet the glutes. Gonna kind of work that little area right there. Whoop. Awesome. All right. Now we're gonna go back to our arms. We're gonna do a rear shoulder squeeze. So on this one, we're gonna focus on our pectorals and our delts. And a little bit of the rhomboid back here as well. Whoop. So we're gonna pull back, bring it forward. Hold back, bring it forward. And remember, keep that resistance. So you don't need to bring it all the way. Always keep that resistance, even with my shoulders here. Back, forward. And again, if you need to add a little bit more resistance, add another band. Ooh, that's too hard with both of those. But if you need that extra, just add another band. That'll put more resistant weight on your workout. Okay. Hope you guys are all feeling good and worked out. We're gonna go to donkey kicks, okay? Okay, so for a donkey kick, that was right the first time. So we're gonna put it on our foot here, okay? So donkey kick is gonna go up and we're gonna bring it down.
A lot of times when we do this using just our body weight, people will bring it in. You don't need to go that far. We're trying to work this muscle back here, okay? So when you do your donkey kick, don't lose that resistance. Don't bring it all the way down. Keep it nice and high. Gonna lift it up, whoop, and down. Like so. When you're ready, go ahead and switch your foot. Very good. All right, so for this next one, I'm gonna go ahead and use my free weights. We're gonna do what is called a Russian twist. You can do this with a resistant band. How you'll see it done is they kind of pull on the resistant band, like so. I don't find that that gets me a good enough workout, so I'm gonna use some weight. If you don't have free weights, I mean, grab anything that has a little weight to it. If you have a weighted bag or bag of rice, flour, I've done it with flour. Whatever you have that has a little bit of weight will work just fine. But I find the resistant band just doesn't really seem to do it for me. All right, so what I'm gonna do with my free weights is I'm going to bring them together, hold them nice and close to my chest. Now when you do a Russian twist, I'm sure you've probably seen it where people are kind of wildly going to the side. That is a great way to pull on your back. Your oblique muscles are the ones we're focusing here. You don't need to go very far in order to work them. Again, holding in those abdominal muscles really tight is already going to start engaging your core. Just adding that little bit of movement will start engaging those obliques. So you don't need to go really far in order to get a good workout from the Russian twist. So you take your weights. If you're a beginner and you don't have a very strong core, keep your legs anchored to the ground. So see how I've created a little bit of a bridge with my leg? You'll take your weights and you'll twist and twist. I'm leaning back, creating a little bit of a V with my body, and I'm going side to side, side to side. And I'm keeping it in that small range of motion, just like so. There are some advantages to doing the bit more of the exaggerated one, but it's very important if you end up doing those that you are very mindful of how you are doing them, how far you are going, and you take it really slow. Personally, it's not going to do much more than what the short range of motion for the Russian twist is going to do. So it's just not worth pulling your back muscle. If you want to get a bit more of an advanced workout on this, lift your legs up and twist. And keep in those abdominal muscles. Keep them nice and tight. All right, so worked out our core. We're going to go back to our arms. And with this one, we're going to do some tricep curls. So our tricep, that's that muscle right here. It's that area that, likes to get a little bit flabby and hang down. It's just impossible to work. I like to do a lot of tricep curls when I'm watching television or just whenever, because it never hurts to work out this muscle. It always needs strengthening. Gravity just always kind of takes a toll on this area. So the more tricep curls you can do, the better. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our band around our back and we're gonna grasp it with the other hand, like so. Once you have a good grasp, you're gonna lift that arm up and bring it down. And again, not too far. We're just gonna keep that short range of motion, just like so. Turn around here. Okay, so we're gonna lift up, pull down, lift up, pull down. Just like so. And again, look at the range of motion isn't very far. I don't need to go really far up or really far down. Your tricep muscle is actually not that long. You don't need to go very far to work it out. So don't overextend. Keep good posture, also very important when you're working out. And then when you feel like you fatigue that muscle, go ahead and switch. Okay, very good. So now we're going to move on to a lower body workout, and these are going to work. So we worked out our abductors. Now we're going to work our adductor muscles. So right here, those nice little thighs on the inside. This one can be a hard one to work when you don't have a particular adductor machine to kind of focus on it. I also have one of those Thigh Masters. It works okay. But this workout, I find, works really well at engaging those muscles. So we're gonna channel our inner ballet dancer, inner ballerina, and we're gonna create a plie. So we're gonna put our duck feet out, okay? And you're gonna create a plie with this one. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a weight in for this one. So we're gonna plie and back up, and then plie and back up. If you wanna add a little bit of a challenge, go on your tiptoes, plie, back up. Just like so. I'm gonna go to the side so you can see my posture and how my back is in conjunction with the rest of my body. So, we're sticking the booty out, okay? Duck feet. I'm going to plie and back up. If you can only do a short range of motion, do that. As you get more advanced and stronger, go ahead and go as low as you can and bring it back up. So, very good. Water. All right. So this next one is one of my favorite workouts. Hopefully I have enough, I'm far enough back that you can see this whole thing here. We're gonna do kind of a plank to mountain climber move here. So, we're gonna get in plank position, like so. You're gonna bring your knee up to your elbow, shoot it back and up. Knee to elbow, shoot it back and up. Just like so. So all together it'll look like this. I do about 5 on one side. take it slow until you can get the coordination down on that one, because it's a lot of components. The one of the reasons I like that workout is because it really gets your heart pumping when you really get at it. You're working a lot of muscles in there, and you're working a little bit of everything. You're working your upper body, you're engaging your core, and you're working those legs, particularly that back side. So it's a really fun all-around workout. I like to throw that in to my strength training sessions just to get my heart pumping a little bit and going. I don't want to get it too high up. I don't want to over cardio and start burning muscle, but it just kind of gets that heart pumping again. So that's a fun one to do. I like to just throw that into the middle of it. Sometimes on my off days, I'll just do some of those, and as well as another one that will come later on in the workout. Kind of fun to just do all the time. The next one we're going to go to is our bicep curls. So we worked our tricep. Now we're going to work our bicep. All right. There's a number of different ways to do this with resistant bands. This is the one that I found to be the best. You can either do it, let's go this way. You can either do it with your knee up, or you could do it with your knee down, holding on to the resistant band, whichever feels more comfortable to you. I find that this, I get a better positioning. I can also rest my elbow on it a little bit. So just like with the tricep curl, again, we're watching that range of motion. I'm not going all the way down. I'm keeping a short range of motion to work that short little bicep muscle. If you want to use free weights, I will do another free weight video, but this is one that's really easy to adapt to a free weight. Obviously, almost everyone's seen a bicep curl, so you just do this, but with a bicep curl. Same range of motion in mind, though. You don't need to go all the way down. Once you get past this point with your arm, you're no longer working your muscle, and you're just pulling on that muscle. So keep that short range of motion to make sure you're engaging the muscle and not losing on that power and that resistance. And then when you're ready and you feel fatigued, you're going to go ahead and switch to the next arm. And take your time with these. All right, so this next one is one of the other ones that I like to do all the time. Sometimes I do this in my kitchen when I'm cooking or waiting for something to boil or microwave. But it's a great one to engage all of your big muscles. So this is really going to engage those quads and those glute muscles. So what we're going to do, this is another kind of Pilates yoga one. We're going to go on our tippy toes, and we're going to create basically a wall sit, but standing. I like to do this more than a wall sit, because with a wall, you're putting a lot of your power against the wall, which is keeping you up. However, with the standing wall sit, it's going to take a lot more energy on your muscles and work out your muscles a lot more than it would if you were utilizing a wall to keep you up. So I'm going to go on my tippy toes, and then I'm going to go in a sitting position. Now, just like squats, it's really important that you keep that derriere out, okay? Just like you're sitting in a chair. Keep those knees behind your toes. You don't want to go forward too far. You don't want to go far too back. You want to keep that nice sitting pose. Straight back, booty out, knees behind the toes. And you're just going to hold this as long as you can.
then sometimes I like to get a little fancy. You don't want to put your heels on the ground, but I'll kind of just go side to side with my feet. Get a little extra burn in the calves and on the quads, okay? That's a fun one. Do it all the time. It's great. All right, so this one I'm gonna pause the camera. I'm gonna move to another area and we're gonna continue. All right, so this one we're gonna do some rows. What we're gonna focus on is our chest. So we're working our pectoral muscles and down here into our delt muscles here along our shoulders, okay? So what you wanna do is you wanna find a good anchor spot that's gonna allow you to anchor your resistant band. So this is one of the open ones and I've tied it.